By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. My disciples. That's the last time the word's used in the New Testament. What's the fourth attribute? According to Jesus, it's bearing much fruit. The proof is in the pudding. What's the proof in the pudding? That we bear much fruit. It's what glorifies God the Father. It is something attached to prayer, and it is something that proves to the Lord and to the world and to ourselves that we are truly disciples of Jesus. So the question is, right, what in the world does Jesus mean by bearing fruit? Okay, how many of you are farmers? Exactly. No, not many. So this imagery is foreign to us, right? Bearing fruit. What does it mean, Jesus, to bear fruit? And we got to know what it means because it's so essential. I mean, it's 25% of discipleship. It's the way we know we glorify God. It's the way we know we're not going to get thrown and burned up and all that stuff. That looks scary. I don't know what that is, but it sounds bad. Okay, I don't want that, so I want to bear fruit. Well, what does that mean? Well, so look down a little bit further to John chapter 15, verse 16. John chapter 15, verse 16. This is the last time he uses the phrase bear fruit, and he gives us insight into what it means. So look there. Jesus says, you, disciples, didn't choose me, but I chose you. Now there's something to talk about. Every Calvinist's favorite memory verse. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and what? Bear fruit. So now bearing fruit's about going. It's about being appointed. You didn't choose me, but I chose you. It's about salvation. It's like Jesus called me to be a disciple. I didn't just figure out, I think I'm going to be a disciple. No, Jesus called me. He pursued me. He appointed me. So it has to do with redemption. It has to do with going, with mission. It has to do with being appointed for mission. It seems to have something to do with prayer. So you would go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. So what do we say about fruit bearing? Well, it seems to be attached to salvation. It seems to be attached with going on mission. It seems to be attached with prayer. And it seems to be whatever it is, the fruit does something, and the fruit, something that it does is that it abides in the Word, just like a disciple abides in the Word. So what if fruit bearing isn't good deeds, and it isn't the fruit of the Spirit, because the fruit of the Spirit doesn't abide? The only thing that abides are people, right? People abide. Disciples abide in the Word. That's the first thing a disciple does. So the fruit that John has in view here isn't good deeds, and it's not the fruit of the Spirit. It's disciples. Disciples, in other words, make disciples.